Hi and welcome back to episode 2 of Designing the Anthro. In today's video, we're going to take a look at our improved robot joint design. With the new changes we've just made, it's easier than ever to build a humanoid robot. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. So we're back in Fusion 360 again, and we're here making some improvements to the previous design featured in episode 1 of the series. As mentioned previously, there were two main issues with the design. First, we had no way of driving the joint. Second, we had no way to actually stop the two halves from rotating independently. So the first thing to do was to expand upon the two halves of the joint and create some sort of additional surface that we could add fasteners to, or some form of holding the two halves together. Now it was time to add some sort of way to actually drive the joint. For the Anthro, we're deciding to use a belt drive system. Using the GT2 belt generator, made by Marc Schömann, we were able to create a profile that would fit onto the shaft of each half of the joint. This would serve as a form of pulley in which we could run a belt around and back to an actuator. At this point our joint's looking a lot better, but it's far from being completed. Further modifications would be necessary in order to make the design toolless. Using neodymium magnets to attach components together would make the design easy to build, easy to modify, and easy to repair. Moving over to Windows 10 3D Builder, we were able to carry out some very simple modifications to each half of the joint to facilitate the addition of neodymium magnets for attaching limbs and for securing both halves together. Now before we take a look at the new design, let's first take a look at the original. In the original you can see it still had two large ball bearings to support the weight of the leg. However, you could see just how wide it really was. And that brings us to our new model of the joint. Taking a look at it, it's very smooth to operate. It still uses the exact same ball bearings as the previous model. To disassemble it, simply rotate 1/2 90 degrees and pull it apart at the joint. Comparing the old bearing retainer to the new one, you can see they both use the exact same bearings as before. The new one is noticeably lighter than the older one, and of course, it's a lot thinner. Comparing the old halves to the new one, we can see that the new one is a lot thinner, and the shaft is a lot shorter as well, because we have a thinner bearing retainer. And we can now utilize a standard GT2 timing belt with the integrated pulley on the shaft of each half of the joint. To insert a timing belt into the joint, simply rotate 1/2 90 degrees, slide the timing belt in between the half and the bearing retainer and onto the pulley. Using a timing belt, we can effectively transmit motion between an actuator and a limb. Big shout out to all of our supporters over the years. Thank you so much for your continued support. None of this would have been possible without your support. If you too would like to support the work that we do, please feel free to drop by the description where we have a link to donate. Be sure to like and subscribe, share it with your family and friends, and as always, take care and we'll see you in the next video.